Welcome to the Figure of Wood studio. It's a beautiful morning here. Can't wait to get started on this project. I have a pretty good collection of wood that's dry and ready for woodworking, furniture making, I should say. And so I'm going to look through here and see if I can't find something that is the correct width and length and enough material to get the job done. I found a slab of ash that has live edge on both sides and will be perfect for this job. Usually I'll make a sketch for the customer, outlining some of the most important details without getting too bogged down in the dimensional details, just overall dimensions, some finish call outs and species call out and a price, and I'll send that along, and if they accept it, great. Use the sketch to get myself started. My planer that I'm going to use for this job is a 24-inch planer. It's made in 1888 by L. Power and Company out of Philadelphia, PA. It's almost 140 years old. Really fun to use, really just amazing piece of equipment. I have to make several passes with the planer to get the wood to the thickness I want, but also to get it to the point where defects that I don't want to see are removed. Once you're done planing, you have to sand. And in this case, I got a lot of tear out on these pieces of wood. The tear out's going to have to be sanded by hand with a belt sander. So I'm in for a lot of work. Sanding and sanding and sanding. Sometimes other priorities here at the farm take precedence and give me a welcome break from all this sanding. We have a small herd of beef cattle, and they've got to be fed over the winter. So it's time to cut some hay. This is a John Deere hay rake, which has seen better days. Pretty rough, but it gets the job done. We use an old New Holland square baler that reliably kicks out hundreds of bales each season. Now that the hay is done, stacked up neatly in the barn, time to do some more sanding. Here I'm cutting the large tenons that pass through the legs and will ultimately be pinned with a wedge on the other side. A little sketchy running it without its safety guard, but I only just recently got it running, and safety guard is next on the list. I'm using the hollow chisel mortiser. Again, a very old machine. It's difficult to make the first mortising cut because of all the friction from all four sides that are on the chisel. But after that, it gets pretty easy. The stretcher or spreader at the bottom rail, passes through each leg, and then a wedge is used to pull it tight. The joints at the top of each leg are dovetails. They're tapered dovetails, so as you slide the leg in, it gets tighter and tighter until you get to a point where it just stops. At which point then I blend in the live edge into the top. So from the leg into the top, it's nicely blended. The finish I use is, for furniture usually, is French polish. Shellac applied in very thin coats in either circles or sweeping motion. It just gives such a beautiful luster to the wood. You can still see the grain. I generally don't fill in the pores of the wood. I just go over it with the shellac and the French polish process. And that way you can still see the shape of the grain, and meanwhile getting a high gloss finish. The table is now finished. Looks beautiful. I hope the customer loves it. It's time to load it up and deliver it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.